Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ Review number 217. And I am Virtue, being joined by this week's elite panel. Of course, Aaron Rift is here, Walter Cruz, Jeff Meacham, and JJ in the house. You know, it's a couple days before Christmas, and we could not book Santa Claus this year. Like, I don't know if it's the weather, if it's extra busy to give all the good kids. I don't know what's going on, but Jeff Meacham, how's it going?
Could be that Santa's green screen's in the wrong studio. Anyway, just possibility. It's going well, man. Things are going good at the House of Mouse. I actually have all the way through Christmas Day, the night of Christmas Day off, so I get to be here with you guys celebrating, so I'm happy.
Here we are. I mean, hopefully we can be under an hour tonight, right? Because it's a holiday season. We want to go wrap presents.
Walter and me both on under an hour.
Get some hot chocolate, watch some Christmas movies. All right.
JJ, we've done it once.
What's going on, man? JJ, what's up?
It's another day, Virtue. What's going on with you guys? Thank you to you and the boss man for allowing me to be here this week. Some good stuff going on. Definitely had to get in here. And then I found out that this Yahoo over here next to me was going to be on. And I was like, oh, crap. Here we go.
Yeah. Hey, the dads are together the week of Christmas. You can't ask for better shit than that. Come on, man.
Good having you here. Of course, we're going to have a great show. We always do.
Always.
Walter Cruz, what's up?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me on the last review of 2022. Yeah. Looking forward to see what the new year brings and the changes that Aaron's going to announce pretty soon. So let's just do this.
We'll save that for the end. Aaron will make that announcement at the end. So that's our hook to keep you here for the entire show. We got a big change coming up for the review, and Aaron Rift will announce that later. But good to have you here, Walter. Hey, Chad, I have something for you before I bring on Aaron to talk a little bit here. I just saw a commercial for Dynamite before I started tonight, and it said, watch our show every week on TBS where we get 3.5 million people. And I do not understand why they said that. They have to be counting every country that plays it off on demand, every YouTube video. I don't understand when we know the rating, at least domestically, is under 1 million every week. I had to get that out there. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain that to me, how Tony Khan's inflating that number. All right, Aaron, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for the final NoDQ review of 2022. Shout out to all the early birds: Ken Terminates DQ, Terrence, Oofman, Cleaver, Colin, Andrew, Nick Glavin, Nathan Banks, and all the rest. We appreciate you all. Let's try to make this the best NoDQ review of 2022. This is going to be one for the ages. We're going to go out with a bang. We're going to have a lot of fun. Stay tuned to the end for a special announcement. We got Gunther here. He's feeling merchy. Virtue is feeling like ripping on AEW. Jeff is playing the role of Big G.
Stating, like, ripping, right? Like, the ratings that we're given are under 1 million each week. And I hear them promoting the show 3.5 million. It has to be some type of fabrication. Like, maybe their reach is that many, but not that many watch. It's some technicality.
Does it make you mad that they do that? Do you feel deceived?
I'm just pointing it out. Like, it's like, improve your product. Don't act like it's more popular than it is. Spend that focus on making it better so you can get that many viewers, because wrestling could, WWE could have that many again if they domestically, right? The domestic old school ratings, if they put in that effort to make it compelling. Yes,
Jake. I think Virtue's trying to show what we at Open Mic Night try to harp on all the internet journalists for, and that's journalistic integrity. God damn it, be accurate with your shit.
Well, and if they say that number, say, through YouTube, Twitter, like, count everything you're counting.
Exactly.
It's right at the very bottom in the very small fine print.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I had to point that
right underneath the copyright 22 at 22.
Maybe they're treating the ratings like votes. They're counting every little thing.
It's the Tony Khan cause, part 5.
WWE lies about attendance at the big events. You know, like that's...
Any other sports year, I would say it was just on the Jaguars tape room every day on loop. But they're actually playing well, so it can't be that. They're actually doing something right in the training room every day. So it can't be that. Maybe they are just flat out lying. Wrestling promoters lying. I can't possibly fathom that.
Right, like there were 93,000 in the Pontiac Silverdome, right, Jeff?
Well, at least 78 of those are accurate.
And Andre the Giant was 750 pounds when he got body slammed by Hogan.
Oh, no. Hogan's up to at least 8 on that. At least 800 now.
I think you're right. It had to be 800, maybe 850.
But by the time Hogan's in the retirement home, it'll be he's 1,000 pounds, brother, and I tore my back, and I still wrestle for another.
No one lies.
Every muscle in his back.
Yeah, I was gonna say every muscle.
That's right, every muscle in his back. That's right.
And he played the
Show
bass
off
for
his back.
Metallica.
And his bicep. Then he hurt his tricep.
His biceps. They didn't go to 22. Yeah, see, they didn't go to 22 because of the steroid non-usage. It's because he slammed Andre, it hurt him so bad.
Yeah, he only took steroids that one time.
That one time that Arsenio, and he still lied on Arsenio about it.
All right, we do have a few super chats before we get started.
Okay, yeah, I gotta make the money. There we
I
go.
forgot to say, happy to have the number one elf, JJ Williams, in the festive spirit. And,
Yes.
you know, Big G was going to be on tonight, but Santa Claus gave him a very special Christmas present, a meet and greet with one Double J Jeff Jarrett. Ever since that moment earlier this year when he was starstruck, that was Big G's wish, to get a face-to-face meeting with Double J, and
That's
Santa
right.
Claus came through. So the two of them are breaking bread together, having some nuts and some steak and other food that wrestlers eat.
Nuts, perhaps?
Not slap nuts, just plain old nuts.
Salty chocolate nuts, or is it the wrong show?
Wrong
That's chocolate
shows,
salty
Jeff.
balls.
It's chocolate balls. I apologize.
Let's keep
I think
it
it's 20
PG.
balls from Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live.
Anyways, let's get to the super chats before we get
Just 20
started.
balls.
I told you guys, this review is going to be the best one of the year. We're going to make it the best.
I mean, we
the
have some
wildest-
topics, but we could talk about whatever, really. You know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, we got some
Not
super
quite open
chats
mic
here.
night, but we're getting there.
super chats, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
The no DQ predictions champion, he got lucky. Sun Goshuaku sent it $2, says likelihood of Bianca breaking Trish Stratus's 447-day reign. Jeff, Trish was champion that long?
Well, you figure she won it. I'm trying to think. She won it just either right after or at New Year's Revolution 05 and didn't lose until Mickey beat her at WrestleMania in 2006. So, yeah, that was that one continuous reign.
And how
What?
far along is Bianca?
I was just gonna ask that.
Not quite a year. yet.
Mania this year, right?
Yeah, Mania.
So
Okay,
so
well, she might do it. She might do it.
Nah,
I mean,
she might lose at WrestleMania. That'll be
if she won it at Mania, she's got to get to whatever they're going to call King of the Ring or Money in the Bank this year. So that's a long way to go.
All right. Welter sent in $5 just to let everybody know. Welcome to the final review of 2022. Happy holidays all. Like, share the video, say yes to NoDQ, feel merchy, and of course, hashtag stick to my shtick. Look at that shirt. You guys can get that at nodq.com/merch. Feel merchy for 2023. Do it. And I may just turn heel before the end of this video. We'll have to wait and see.
And on the final review, I finally spelled the whole thing correctly.
That's right.
Wow.
Oh, it took it 365 days to
Congratulations.
have it all
Did
together.
Santa bring you spell check for Christmas?
Santa got him spell check. All right,
Mr.
let's get to
Spell
the
from Toy
topics.
Story. There you go. Mr. Spell helped Walter out.
All right. Well, so and I know we've had like over the past several months, we've here and there we've talked about who we're always looking forward to coming back or about to start a new year, 2023. Royal Rumble's getting close, and I think we need to kind of like say, well, who we're most excited to see return that has been gone from TV, wrestling, or whatever for a pretty long time. I mean, we can talk about, will The Rock come back? Where's Charlotte? The whole Sasha Banks stuff, which we'll talk about in the main event. CM Punk, could he return? There has to be, everybody's got to have one or two people that they're excited to return. I mean, and some of these people might not return, right? So, Jeff Meacham, I'm going to start with you. 2023 is almost upon us in the wrestling world, and I'm sure there's a lot of other ones. Like, indulge me with some other people. Pat McAfee. Like, we have to be excited. Who's your number one? Maybe do an honorable mention. Jeff Meacham, you're on the floor. This is all about the new year. We got to be excited for something in wrestling.
I'm always excited for anything wrestling, because especially with what we get to cover on the Jeff Meacham Network. And God, that shot's really bad when it's just me. That looks like shit. Cool. Okay, just throwing it out there. I'm honestly looking forward to Charlotte returning, only because I want to see exactly what they're going to do, having taken so long with her, right? Because it just takes. It seems so silly she's been off TV. It's like, are they going to bring her? If they bring her back as anything but the classic Charlotte Flair heel, it's like, then why'd you take so freaking long? Honorable mention, I think, for me is Mercedes Sasha, just to see what's going to happen. I'm hopeful it's going to be where it's rumored to be. We'll talk about that, like you said, the main event virtue, but definitely Mercedes and Charlotte for me are the two top choices. I could give a shit if Punk ever returns ever again. Rock, Be cool if it happened because I might get to go. But
All right. Hold on. Timeout.
Yes, go
Jeff,
ahead.
you do not give a shit about CM Punk returning.
no, I don't.
I don't believe you. I think if CM Punk showed up on Monday Night Raw, I think you would pop. I think you would buy the CM Punk merchandise on WWEshop.com and you'd post it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, every outlet you have. You would be a total mark for CM Punk. I do not buy that one bit.
I mean, I could see you saying that about Enzo, right? Enzo trying to work himself
that would be you, Virtue.
into a match with MJF, but I was kind of shocked you said that about
I love Enzo trying real hard to get himself back in the limelight again, trying to work MJF, right? Like Max is going to
MJF just blew him off. That's too bad because I'm telling you, I agree with Virtue. That's a pay-per-view.
Even if MJF jobbed, why not? Why not pay that? That's going to draw.
I would honestly rather see Enzo come back just to have Max punk him.
On the sticks alone, that'll be awesome.
Right.
No, I feel like the truth to Jeff's statement is kind of in the middle. I agree with Aaron. If Punk came back like at the Raw or at Mania, you'd get that initial holy shit pop, especially if he was live on the air. But as far as going out and buying all the merchandise, as someone who has been a best friend of Meacham's for a while, like I know you have, Aaron, but I've been in the trenches with Jeff through the ups and downs with the CM Punk, and I full 100% believe him when he says that he is absolutely done with Phillip Brooks.
Both of you know that Aaron, you and I were kind of having our little spat when Punk really started the big summer of Punk in 2011. But both of you know that I was not happy with the way him and the company falling out happened. And I only really kind of like, okay, well, he seems like a decent guy because he was decent to my dad. Both of you know anybody in my life, be it a Disney employee, be it a wrestler, if they're cool with my family, they show respect to my dad, I give them the pass. I gave Punk the pass for however many years it's been. What was it? 2017 was the All-Star Game, Jay? I think it was. So 5 years. But he flat out went on the air last year in AEW and said, oh, well, I couldn't go back to WWE because I couldn't get healthy and the place made me sick. The business made you sick, Phil. Stop being a fucking liar. Okay? The business made you sick and you took a whole year and you reacquired the disease. So stay away, get healthy, go be Mr. AJ Lee, and maybe be a consultant for WoW. Maybe they'll keep your ass off television out of my damn face.
Okay, well, that was
maybe he just doesn't like working with children.
JJ,
I don't blame him for that either. Like I said, neither do I. But I still don't want to back.
So Jeff, what was your main pick then? Who you were excited to see the most? Charlotte. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right, JJ.
Well, I would be lying if I didn't say The Rock. If the rumors about him for the Rumble, for Mania are true, I will mark hardcore if The Rock comes back. I was there in Anaheim the last time he had his grand return as being announced for the host of WrestleMania. Yeah, other than him though, like, I don't know. I don't know where things are going in Jeff Hardy's world. I would like to see him get his life right enough to where he could possibly come back. Naomi, everyone's talking about Sasha. I'd rather see Naomi come back, honestly. I'm over Mercedes.
That's fair.
It comes right down to it.
There you go.
I feel like Naomi quit to be, friends with Sasha because it was the friend thing to do. And Sasha has just kind of risen to the top and is getting all this money and bookings and everything. And Naomi isn't getting near the same level. It's like, throw her back in WWE, put her with the bloodline where she belongs, assuming the bloodline is going to survive post-Mania.
We talk about her all the time on Open Mic Night, brother. We talked about her last week when we were talking about that picture she took with Jade at the basketball game. I'd love to see Trinity come back to television.
The Rock, great choice, JJ. Before I go, I'll let Walter Cruz go here, see what he says.
One of the ones I'm looking forward to is Cody. I want to see how they book him.
Did you get that from the chat?
No.
Okay.
Mine's more like I want to see if they actually pull the trigger and if he's going to beat Roman. Like, If like, because I don't see what else to do with him. Like, are you gonna make him go against Rollins again, or? And then one of the other ones is, unfortunately, hopefully Riddle gets it together. I'm looking forward to see if they totally change his character and if he can come back as a healthy person and stay away from being the dude person and the pothead, because maybe they're gonna change his gimmick completely because of what he's gotten suspended for. So those two, and I agree with JJ with the Naomi and of course The Rock, but I just want to see Cody come back, and I want to see like how they book him. It's more of a curiosity thing with me with him.
And I want to like easily pick people that I know is 100% coming back, and I just can't. I'm setting myself up for disappointment. My honorable mention is CM Punk, because for everything like Jeff doesn't want to see him back, makes me want to see people back even more. The AEW diehards, like some of them want to see him back, but then the ones that are about the elite, they're not going to want to see him back. And that's why I want Punk to come back in some form. In WWE is far-fetched, but it's probably not going to happen. That's why it's my honorable mention. But The Rock, I mean, you can't build this bloodline thing up, head of the table, have hints from Dwayne, Dwayne trying to make his splash into Hollywood even bigger, and he's kind of, the whole Black Adam thing underperformed. It didn't get released in China. I feel like more than ever does The Rock need to go back to his roots and just do something. And I don't know. Again, he doesn't need wrestling, right? It doesn't matter if his stuff draws or whatever. He's still – I looked up his net worth. I can't believe he's worth $800 million. And again, that's just crazy. And we're in this time now. It's not bad. Back in the day, Stallone and Schwarzenegger, I was kind of debating with Tito on this on Twitter. They made – money was different back then, right? Yeah. So they weren't able to accumulate as much. And when Arnold was in office, they don't get paid squat. So he wasn't making as much during that run. But I feel like The Rock needs to come back to do this thing for Roman, because like just to get back to his roots, and maybe then he can go back and make a splash and reinvent himself and start making, because he had some good movies along the way with all the bad ones out there. I easily found like 8 to 10 Rock movies I enjoyed. And I looked at the how much they made versus their budget and the Rotten Tomato scores. And it was, it was above average. But he had some stinkers in there. So I'm going to be disappointed if 2023 is here and goes and I don't see Punk at all or Rock. Like, that will be major disappointment for me.
In the next 2 or 3 years, it wouldn't shock me if The Rock's a billionaire, I'm telling you.
I definitely
think
net worth doesn't always mean that's what you have. Like, it's weird.
It's your assets. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I see him being a billionaire, like, for real. And with the Punk
he does
thing,
business stuff too. That's where he makes even more money.
Right. Exactly.
Not vodka. Is it vodka? It is. It's a liquor. It's some kind of liquor. He's got all that. And with the Punk, I would save that for the night after WrestleMania, because something big always happens on that Raw. That's what I would do with Punk if you're going to bring him back.
I wouldn't be opposed to him going back to AEW. I still think there's business versus the elite. Okay, Aaron, over to you. Did we forget anybody? Nobody said Sasha.
I mentioned her, but
but in terms of like wanting to see her back, that's just.
I just want to see what they're going to do, and like I said, we're going to talk more about her in the main event anyway. So I will say I was going to save my spiel for the rest of it. But
Jeff, do the Sasha dance.
I will not do the Sasha dance except for a major super chat. How about that?
All right.
And by the way, Aaron, you mentioned Punk specific work with children. By the way, I didn't want the elite to come back television either. I'm sick of their shit too. So,
fair enough.
Let's see what we got here. We got a few super chats, and then I'll give my take on it. Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in $2. He says, "Say no to Santa, but say yes to NoDQ."
Ban that man immediately, or at least time him out.
He keeps coming up on my Facebook as a one suggested friend.
Are you not?
He's nobody's friend if he's trying to ban Santa from NoDQ. Shame on him.
Man, imagine if he tried to ban Mickey Mouse. All hell would break loose.
Well, no, because
we have a problem here.
Exactly. Hey, Santa's appeared on NoDQ. At least Mickey's too high priced to appear on NoDQ.
Yeah, he's out of our price range for sure.
Very much so. Even at a cash discount, even during the holidays, still too much.
No one can afford him.
No.
Bill R. sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Bill. Says, "Merry Christmas, NoDQ Galaxy. Been a fan since the WWF WCW days. Thank you for keeping NoDQ going all these years and for the great content. Much appreciated." And we keep on going here. We keep on trucking in the NoDQ universe. All right. So I think I just have to pull a big G and agree with Virtue. CM Punk is something that I would really be interested in seeing.
I almost made him my number one, Aaron.
It's pretty close to me. See, I think The Rock coming back would be a bigger mainstream deal, and Roman versus The Rock is money. But CM Punk, just the fact that nobody thinks he's going to come back, and it's been said for years it's not going to happen. I think of Bret Hart coming back, Bruno Sammartino coming back, Ultimate Warrior coming back. I think he's coming back. It's just a matter of when. And I'm looking forward to that day. I think it'll be a fun moment. But
your
The
cycle
Rock,
crash, definitely.
yeah. The Rock, though, from a mainstream perspective, is the biggest deal. Him versus Roman Reigns is the biggest match in wrestling that can possibly be done right now. So that's at the top of my list. Sasha Banks, like, she'll make a difference a little bit, but she's not going to make AEW the must-see show. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
So that's
Are we supposed to call her Sasha Banks or Mercedes right now?
Well, we'll talk about her in the main event.
Yeah.
I have some questions about rumors about her. So.
And of course, I'm very excited for Pat McAfee to come back.
Yes.
I like Wade Barrett, but he's not at Pat McAfee's level. We need Pat McAfee back on commentary. He brings so much to the table. I am looking forward to that. Looking forward to Cody Rhodes returning, of course. That will be a lot of fun when he shows up. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about that more in the coming weeks. Now, Oofman Entertainment did send in $5. Thank you, Oof. Much appreciated, sir. Says, could 2023 be the year that Randy Orton retires due to his injury, or does he make a surprise return? All right. I do not think he's retiring. I mean, I do not know his medical condition exactly, but my feeling is he'll be back at some point once he's healed up. He might be gone a year, but I do not think we've seen the last of Randy Orton in a WWE ring. Anybody want to make a bold prediction and say he comes back in 2023, Jeff?
I'm saying he's done, and there's a lot of stuff, rumors, whatever you want to call them, that he's got the injury similar to Austin, to Saraya, to Edge, but it's more severe, and they caught it too late.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't, and again, I don't know how substantial that is, but I did hear that from a few different people. So I'd be surprised if he returned more than surprised if he retired.
Interesting.
I think if he comes back, he won't be doing the RKO anymore.
Well, and
He's
again,
gonna have to do the punt or something.
It's one of those deals. We all said that the Spinal Cord Trio wouldn't return at Full Tilt. Austin had that one match, and it was a brawl, and it was what it was. Saraya's had one match, I think, so far, and we haven't seen what, her next match is not going to be until they come out here in January. But Edge has gone back to he's gone back Full Tilt. He's kicking ass. I mean, he's hurt, he's on the shelf right now, treating, Mrs. Copeland's wounds from the Judgment Day, but if anybody could come back after something like that, it would be Randy, because the guy's kept himself in shape for so many years. So, but just from what I've heard from a few different people, it sounds like it's worse than they've let on. So, I hope not. I really do, because I've enjoyed Randy, and I've really, God help me, I've enjoyed the stuff with Riddle. Like him being with Riddle is what's made Riddle grow on me like a fungus. Yes, but I've enjoyed Matt's work the last year because of being with Randy. So if he's out and they don't retweak Riddle's character properly, he's dead in the water too. So it sucks.
And it'll be a shame not to ever get the Riddle versus Orton. Like, it's the payoff everybody wants.
It was building so well, and then Randy got legitimately hurt, and then they kind of just tossed Riddle back into the island of what the hell. So it sucks.
The island of irrelevancy.
I mean, really, because they had that brief thing with the bloodline, and then they're like, okay, yeah, just kidding. So, and yeah, he doesn't have anything left to prove. He's been going for 20 years, and that's fine, but you always hate to be the person that doesn't have the choice. You have to step away. Like Austin, Saraya, and Edge all had that. Well, you don't have the choice. You're going to get permanently paralyzed if you wrestle anymore. So you hate to have to not have the choice.
And that's what lights the fire in all of them. The fact that it wasn't their choice. It makes them want to come back even more. People that retire on their own, they're like, they can let it go.
I mean, and it was different paces. Edge took 9 years to come back. Saraya, God willing, she came back sooner. Austin took damn near 20. So
there you go. Aaron, anything else? Any other super chats? Or are we moving on?
We can move on.
Next topic. So LA Knights in the ring. We see Bray Wyatt come out, and guess what they decided to do? Show Uncle Howdy in the same room as Bray Wyatt. Here's what I think. Like we can go about these rumors about Bray building this like real life, Firefly Funhouse, and maybe Bo Dallas comes back and plays a character. Or he pulls an LA Knight. I don't know. I still think it's definitely Bray Wyatt, and he got some indie wrestler or somebody to dress up as Uncle Howdy to play mind games, and we're never going to find out who was behind that mask because it's still Bray Wyatt. What does everybody else think? They decided to go this route just to keep some people on their toes. JJ Williams, I'll start with you this time.
Well, if you believe everything that you read on Twitter, Bo was Uncle Howdy. I've also heard some people say that it might have been Joe Gacy from NXT, at least for that spot. How you're talking about using an independent wrestler and never really find out who it was. I've heard some people think that they think it was Joe Gacy based off of the whole schism and dyad thing that's going on in NXT. But, I think that Bo is probably the most Bo-leavable in the whole scheme of things. If it's not just another mind game from Bray. I'm curious to see where this goes, though.
Because, like, when they do the Uncle Howdy voice, it definitely sounds like it's Bray's voice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it does.
So, obviously they're trying to keep people guessing or whatever. All I wanted when Bray came back, and it the very first time we saw him and he talked, I thought we were going to get it, was just himself. Be called Bray Wyatt, but be Wyndham Rotunda and have an edge and take yourself and put it at 110% like Steve Austin did with Stone Cold. And we're still getting this stuff for TV because they got content they want to fill for the networks and do all this crazy stuff that takes months and months. And, I like Bray, but I would rather have him just be himself. Walter Cruz, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather be himself. I'm kind of over this whole thing. I'm ready to see him in the ring. Like he's talking a little too much. I think this is a smoke and mirror thing. They just used some jabroni to do it. Because Bo Dallas is like 6'2", and to me that guy came off as short and stocky. The guy who played Uncle Howdy came out like, I don't know if it was the camera angle or something, but he looked undersized to me, and it didn't look too intimidating, as Aaron said on his live stream. I don't think it matched what it should have did. Like, it didn't come out right to me. And the laugh track wasn't even synced correctly. Like, I noticed it when you look. But I think this is just a smoke and mirror thing, and like we're never gonna see who Uncle Howdy is.
So it's gonna be Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
It's only Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, it's just a smoke and mirror thing that Wyatt's gonna play more than one character, but it's interesting to see where it goes.
It's the resurgence of Goldust.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Dustin's not retiring for real, apparently. Nobody retires. Woo!
Is it CM Punk? Jeff.
There we go. CM Punk. What the hell?
It's The Rock.
It's Bart Gunn.
There you go. Here's how The Rock gets back in. That's right. I love what Virtue said about, turning the amp up on the personality. Mick Foley did that in 97. He gave the entire Mick Foley life story in that interview series with JR, but did it as Mankind, and it got him completely unexpectedly baby-faced. That's a great way to do it. And Wyndham Rotunda has done that, kind of. When he first came back, they were doing the promos, and he was telling his own story. I kind of agree with I almost called him Virtue 2, or Walter, that I'm kind of over the talking thing. But for the record, I've never been a fan of the in-ring action that it comes with Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Husky Harris, whatever. He's very much one of those, oh, it's great, and then the bell rang every single time with him. So as long as they...
Well, that's wrong right there. He's had, and this is Tito, I'm calling you and Tito out on this. He has had several really, really good matches. Let's not forget his Hell in a Cell versus Roman Reigns, the match versus Daniel Bryan, and I could go on. Like, why is it like Bray Wyatt can't wrestle to everybody.
Okay,
I think what happened is the character got too deep, and then he did get some injuries. Then it became limiting. The Fiend, he couldn't wrestle because the way they did the gimmick. He has had, he's had 8 to 10 matches where he was over 20 minutes a match. That's long for a guy that can't work.
And but the problem is those 8 to 10 were way early in the Wyatt character history.
Well, yeah, it was those first few years. It was.
Yeah, and in the last few, and to think that we were calling the Bray Wyatt character a few years because the character's over 10 years old, which is like, huh? But it is. It's crazy. I just think that if Bray's ready to actually do a solid match, especially with a guy like LA Knight, Shawn Ricker, who JJ and I have both seen, and Aaron too, seen live numerous times, that guy can go. He's proven he can go. Percy Pringle saw something in him that a lot of the indie promoters didn't, and that's why he got booked, because he had Percy with him. But LA Knight's did a great job on the mic, But again, we haven't seen him work a whole lot since he got called back up either. So I'm curious for both of them to get in the ring and work. As far as who's playing Uncle Howdy, I could Uncle give a crap as long as it's a solid end of the story and we get a good ooh, it was that all along moment. Cool. As long as it's not, it was me, Shawn Ricker, it was me all along, and it's Vince, I'm okay with it.
Remember, they're doing this thing with Alexa Bliss too. So with the
Right,
I was going to say that I'm
the other
looking
thing.
forward to that more than who Uncle Howdy is.
Yeah, but
Right.
with the Wyatt not wrestling, I think a lot of people are confusing his booking versus his wrestling skills. To me, he can go, he can wrestle. It's more his booking was disappointing. So people are saying he can't wrestle. It's not that. It's more of the booking decisions.
Yeah, I mean,
think it's both.
and again, he might have ended up getting some injuries, like maybe third year into the Wyatts, and then Fiend just had no chance to have good matches just because of the way they booked it. And look at the Goldberg thing and the way the Randy Orton match was short. It was just he was dead in the water as the Fiend, and I can understand why people don't like his wrestling because that's what's most recent. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking injuries. Aaron, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the storyline. I think they're saving the match for the Royal Rumble, and that's why it's moving at a slow pace right now. They're dragging it out until the Rumble. I'm hopeful that it will deliver in the end. Bray Wyatt, once the bell rings, him and LA Knight put on a banger. That's what I'm hoping. I think he's capable of doing it. People like to knock Bray Wyatt for not being good in the ring. I think he's really good in the ring. It's just that his character is so heavy on the promos and the gimmick that sometimes that overshadows his in-ring abilities. Like with the Hell in a Cell match, when you have the lights turned down and he's supposed to be supernatural, not selling anything. We need to see Bray Wyatt a bit more humanized, in my opinion. And I think that they probably have a good idea of where this Uncle Howdy storyline is going. I do not think it's like the old Vince McMahon regime where they would have no idea who Uncle Howdy is. They're just throwing it out there. I feel like they have a long-term plan here, and we will find out who Howdy is. And when Bray Wyatt gets in the ring, it will deliver. I'm staying optimistic about it. I think that it will be entertaining in the long run with Bray Wyatt's creative vision. I just think that right now they're trying to slowly build it up because they're saving the actual match for the Royal Rumble. Maybe if there was a day one, they would have done it sooner. But since there's no pay-per-view, why put Bray Wyatt's match out there on SmackDown? You might as well save his first match back for a major pay-per-view, hence waiting until the Royal Rumble. So we got to wait. Everybody's got to be a little bit patient with it. My opinion is it will deliver in the long run.
Hey, Aaron, have you...
long-term...
I want to see a Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt feud.
Have you heard of Bray Wyatt since he came back, wrestling on a house show or anything? Because I don't even think he's been in dark matches or no. And I don't want him and LA Knight's first match to be a straight pay-per-view, and then it's they used to use house matches to get to know each other, to familiarize, and then get good matches out of one another. And if they go into this cold, I'm afraid that it's gonna end up being a bad match.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that they are working out in a ring somewhere, rehearsing the match. They very well could be doing that.
You had to remember, Walter, this is the day of, everybody's got a cell phone and can, report spoil. It's not like 1991 where there's nobody bringing the phone to the house shows and, I saw what happened. So,
I mean, and maybe this run for Bray, maybe he gets the matches against Pat and feuds against Pat McAfee, where people are going to be excited about it, and you can do different things to change the pace of the match so Bray doesn't get hurt, doesn't get blown up. I mean, there's so many possibilities. I just hope they do it right.
Yeah, I agree. And there was a question here from Psycho Jet Black. He sent in $2. Thank you for that, Psycho Jet Black. And we have Mo Camera and Mr. Tito going at it in the chat room.
Bring them both in tonight. It's the last show of the year. Bring them both in. Just let them go. What the hell?
We should. Well, Mr. Tito would have to suit up, and that'll take 45 minutes. And
well, I'm on the show. We got at least 45 left anyway.
If Tito wants to just come on and show his face,
well, we know he's not going to do that. Don't
put
that out there. Come on.
So the question was, how about for WrestleMania, Wyatt versus Lesnar, Beast versus Howdy?
Not this year. I still want Lesnar versus Gunther. I really want to see that.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
like I said,
think that's better.
You can have Bray against LA Knight for a feud for WrestleMania. Pat McAfee. You can create something good to tell a story. Like imagine McAfee coming back on commentary and he's getting messed with Bray Wyatt and it leads to a big event match. Like little stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That there's a good point in the chat room that Bray Wyatt's a good character wrestler. That's how you build up with LA Knight, because LA Knight is a good wrestler, but he is so good on the mic, and he has been, just under the radar. But yeah, him and Bray can carry this to Mania if they do it right, especially on the microphone. I agree with that. And don't put Lesnar with Bray Wyatt. That would have been good with the Fiend pre-Goldberg maybe, but not now. But yeah. I want to see Lesnar and Gunther and Bray and LA Knight can keep on going. That's fine with me too. And I agree with this, by the way, Michael Wayne. So good call.
We do have one more super chat here from the This Guy Experience. He sent in $2. He says, this story with Bray is boring so far. Fiend and Cult. Thumbs up.
He must have been typing real fast, or talk to text failed him miserably.
I mean, I've been entertained by the Bray Wyatt storyline. Is it moving slow? Yes, but it's all about how the final product ends up being.
If LA Knight comes out of it as a bigger star, that's what it's about. So
and he's shining. He's really coming into his own here on the main roster. He was great on SmackDown. I think he's really doing well in this.
And I bet you he's happy versus what he was doing with Maximum Male Models or whatever that was called. I bet you he is ecstatic. Even if there's some spookiness going on, he's got to still be ecstatic.
And you know what, Virtue? Maybe they're just trying to present him like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's special attraction. Doesn't wrestle all that often. Same thing with Bray Wyatt. When he does wrestle, it's a special event. Psycho Jet Black asks why WWE not doing squash matches. I think they're just trying to make him like a Brock Lesnar or an Andre the Giant. He's a special attraction. When he does show up, it's a big deal. Bottom line.
Yeah, it's LA Knight's really hitting that, because remember WWE signed him, pretty much out of the indies because the buzz he had because he was working with Purse, and then it was just like. They didn't do anything with him. They put him on that stupid workout DVD that Hunter put out. And then, NXT kind of like, yeah, we don't need you. He really, is finally hitting that stride that he was signed with, whatever it was, 8 years ago. So I'm happy for Sean. I'm hoping the thing with Bray goes farther. So.
The thing with the squash matches, I think those are more designed for people that's like 7 feet, giants that they're trying to make look big, or people that are like 6'5", 6'6", jacked up. That's really what squash matches are used for. They're not really, they're not really used for regular.
No, and both, and again, I was hard on Bray, and I do stand corrected as far as the stuff in the ring. Both him and LA Knight can go in the ring. Omos is perfect for squash matches. Just throw these indie guys at 95 pounds when they're soaking wet with bricks in their feet. Boom, okay, squash, good night. These two guys can actually go. So let them work it out.
Aaron, any other super chats?
We're caught up.
Don't need them with this stuff tonight.
I thought there was a $2 one that came in, or did you already answer that one?
You already answered that one.
Okay, so
I answered it.
Main event time. Now, remember, at the end of the video, Aaron's going to make an announcement for 2023 for the NoDQ review, so stay tuned for that. But let's talk about, all right, formerly known as Paige, and it's Saraya, correct?
Yes.
Saraya. Mystery partner. When is this supposed to be for? Is this a Dynamite or a pay-per-view or what?
January 11th on Dynamite in LA.
So we'll let the speculation begin here, and we'll throw Sasha's name into the hat. We know she's going to, Sasha Banks, Mercedes, is going to be doing something with New Japan. Are they getting female wrestlers over there now? I don't know. Maybe they already have them.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a lot of possibilities here for Sasha Banks not having to go back to WWE. And of course, we can talk about Saraya's mystery partner. So Walter Cruz, I'm going to start with you. What do you think?
If it is Mercedes, I'm a little over Mercedes, to be honest. Yeah, like I'm a little over the whole Mercedes Sasha Banks hype. I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. Like I respect her for what she's done and everything, and good for her, but I'm over it already. Just if you're gonna come back, come back. If not, stop the bullshit. Like that's what it is to me. Like either come back or don't. Like who gives a crap? But like I'm sorry, I'm just over it. But it only makes sense to be her, to be honest. Like the way the tease is going and the way all rumors point to it. Like I can't even think of who else it could be. Like who's a good free agent out there that you? I mean,
it could be somebody on the roster too.
It could be.
Yeah.
Who's out?
But they're making it seem like such a big thing that it might be. It's got to be a surprise if somebody comes out of nowhere.
Could it be?
Seem like an in-house thing.
We talk about Sasha.
Yeah.
Could it be Naomi?
You never know. Who's the after Vince retires? Anything is possible. We can't say no to anything, to be honest.
I like Tito's answer, Aaron. Throw that up.
Okay, then you can go next.
Jeff, no.
And you can go next. So go.
Yeah, I like that. Just because it would piss so many people off and bring Tessa back to television. I like that. That's good.
I didn't even think about her, to be honest.
Wait a minute, Jeff. So
that's the thing. She's been so discredited. Some people say rightfully so. We don't know. Nobody knows the whole story. It's all hearsay with Tessa's allegations. So I think it'd be great just to have everybody be so pissed off. Oh, they hired her. Even yeah, they did.
So now you're stealing Virtue's gimmick, where you're happy to see people get pissed off, and that's why you're going with it.
As far as Tessa's concerned, absolutely, because I actually like Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard is a very, very good female wrestler.
She's a good female wrestler, and she's got buzz. Good or bad, she's got buzz on her. And you know what? I'll even go as far as to say this. I'd rather see Enzo come back than CM Punk, because Enzo and Max have a good, microphone.
I knew I could get you to say something about Enzo positive.
Okay, so
CM Punk.
There you go. I'll even pause so maybe we can get it cracked. You ready? I would be happy if Enzo Amore returned to television.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay, all right.
There it is.
Put that on YouTube.
Moment. Now, as far as the thing, I don't really care who it is because I'm probably going to be there. So I'm looking forward to whoever it is. I'd like to see Mercedes just because I want to see if she can thrive in wrestling outside of the McMahon-Helmsley bubble, because I don't know if that's the case because I haven't seen her outside of that bubble. Tessa's another good option. Again, besides the pissing the critics off, Tessa can work. Virtue said she's a great wrestler. Impact, for all their faults, wouldn't have at least made the attempt with her in that big storyline if she wasn't decent in the ring, right? Other than that, as far as if it was somebody already on the roster, they wouldn't be making this big deal about it. So
that's what I meant. That's what it doesn't seem like it's an internal thing.
Not necessarily. They could we haven't seen Thunder Rosa for a while, and all we know is her injury is bad. We don't know when she's going to come back.
Right.
That could be a bunch of BS because this is a plan. That's such an AEW thing right there.
It really is. And again, so a couple things. Michael, that's based on what you've read on the internet. Have you been in a women's locker room? I doubt that. And if you have, we need to call the police. Number one. Number two, don't believe everything you read, folks. Just because people and Tito, again, if the report is true that she did say or do what she was accused of saying or doing, seriously, folks, enough. She hasn't been able to be booked. She left the country to try to let the heat die down. Jesus Christ, folks, get over it. And again, people always complain about, there's not enough good quality women's wrestling. You've got the child of a horseman, for Christ's sake, and she can work on her own. So let her come back.
People are allowed to make mistakes. Stop holding stuff over people.
Yeah. Right. Tessa Blanchard, if you're out there, Jeff Meacham, good PR guy. There you go.
Hey, I actually had Tessa. Okay, full disclosure, we had Tessa booked for an interview, and then she had to bail out of the country because of all the bullshit going on. We had her booked. So
nice. There you go. JJ always has
Tessa and Mercedes are my two top choices. Since I'm going to be there, if I have to make a pick, Mercedes, just because I want to see how she does outside of WWE.
Okay, fair enough. JJ, you always have interesting takes here. It could, and it's probably going to be this vanilla right here, right? But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm going to
really,
say your takes are interesting, and then you're going to come out with I don't care, just like Walter. I don't care about
Sasha
that.
Banks.
I mean, at the end
I
of
don't
the day,
care
I
who it
don't
is.
know. I don't know what else I could throw out there that hasn't already been touched on between the other two panelists. Like the odds-on favorite is Mercedes. I agree with Jeff. I kind of want to see what she can do on her own outside the WWE bubble. I mean, you figure if it's going to be in SoCal, she can definitely have Snoop with her to try and make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've got the whole Tessa Blanchard thing, which I hadn't even thought about, but that's a good point. And then Thunder Rosa, I mean, like you guys pointed out, like it was brought up in the comment room, it's like we don't know what her situation is. If this has all been part of a huge ploy, it is going to be against Britt Baker at the end of the day. Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter is there too, which is sad to say because she's the champion.
Yeah.
But who better to come back and help Saraya beat the piss out of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, than Thunder Rosa?
Yep, that's kind of where I was going. Well, how does this work these days with WWE releases? Is it 90 days still?
Yeah,
like
it's
we can,
supposed to be
so
90,
we
so it
can't
won't be
really
Mandy.
we can't talk about Mandy Rose. There's
No,
no
it won't be
possibility
Mandy.
legally.
No.
As soon as
What
I
a
think
bummer. I wish Tony Khan would just like say, all right, we'll bring you back and we'll handle all the legal fees. I'll pay for that.
Even though she was in NXT, she still had the main
chances
roster
are
contract.
WWE wouldn't want to even go to
contract.
court with that because like that some of that stuff you can't keep people from employment. Like a lot of legal people say if wrestlers challenge that, but the problem is they don't want to pay legal fees to challenge that. So that would very well be interesting if Tony Khan would say, hey, I'll pay your legal fees because you'll beat them in court. They can't keep you from working as an independent contractor.
That's true.
That would be interesting.
Contract.
Like
Yeah,
that to me would be like Rick Rude stuff, even though his back in the day was legal because he wasn't under contract. But
God, Mo Cameron's takes are so bad tonight. Jesus H.
Ooh,
Christ. She's had one match and she got hurt. Shut the F up, dude. Good Christ.
all right,
Yeah,
so-
would you guys be disappointed if it was anyone else aside from Mercedes?
No.
Well, Mandy Rose I'd pop for because like we can't fathom that happening so soon. There are things that could make it interesting, but
Somebody on the roster besides Thunder Rosa, yes, I'd be disappointed, honestly.
yeah. Yep.
The soonest Mandy Rose could even be a contention would be the Revolution pay-per-view, more than likely.
Yeah, because
Is
she's got the main
mid-February,
roster.
early March.
Well,
March
JJ,
Making the
15th
money
is
she's
when it's
making, I
supposed to
wouldn't
be.
be in a rush to go back to wrestling.
Exactly. She made $500,000 in a week. She's not trying to get back, you know. She's
Yeah.
like,
No.
she'll be a millionaire by the time her 90 days is up. For real.
Yeah. JJ, either way, if we go to the event that has Britt and Jamie, it'll be the day after the reveal anyway. So we'll have a lot to talk about when we go see them.
I mean, the only way I would really be interested in the Mercedes thing is if Mercedes is the partner, Naomi runs in, beats the shit out of Mercedes, and joins Jade and the Baddies.
That'd be great. Just because.
Yeah, this is what you get for keeping me unemployed for all this time, you fucking bitch.
Whoa, F&B.
Excuse me, sorry.
Aaron, crack on that man.
What
What are you? Are you?
Aaron,
Are
apologies.
you Rick Ross now?
You
You think you could just casually drop F-bombs on live programming?
My apologies. I'm so used to just being on this guy's channel and get away.
You're allowed one. You're allowed one.
I'm just.
It's a bingo hall. This is the big arena. This
That's
is
right.
SoFi Stadium.
This is WWE, not ECW. My bad.
And he's wearing a Santa hat to boot. All right, Aaron, over to you. You got the leftovers here. There ain't much left, but go for it.
The buzz right now is Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever her name is going to be. She would no doubt be a huge acquisition to AEW. How big? I would not say that she would change the face of AEW, but I think she would do very well for the division, give them some real credibility. And if Snoop Dogg was out there with her, if Snoop Dogg drops a new track for her, like she could have some serious star power that AEW needs. And with all those LA executives there, Sasha comes out there with the big entrance, the music, the whole 9 yards. Like she could boost that division big time. So she's the odds-on favorite right now. But what's interesting to me is that they downplayed the tag match these last 2 weeks. The first week that it was announced, people were buzzing about it, and then AEW has kind of downplayed it. And I wonder if maybe they thought it was a bad idea to announce it that far in advance without having Sasha Banks actually under contract and secured. Right. Now I'm wondering if they're purposely downplaying it because it's not going to be Sasha and it'll be somebody like a Thunder Rosa if she's cleared. Last word was that she would not be back until February. That could just be a work. Yep. And Mandy Rose, she reportedly has the main roster contract, which means a 90-day non-compete. That would seemingly rule her out. Toni Storm just came back this week, so I can't really think of too many names other than Tessa Blanchard, which would definitely be a polarizing reaction. Chris Statlander, she just said she's not cleared yet. Of course, that could be throwing that out there so people don't think it's her and that it is her. She'd probably get a good reaction by the AEW fans. But, with all the buzz and hype, right now it seems to be more of the fans than AEW. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But I think now that Sasha's going to New Japan, I think there's a very decent chance she ends up in AEW pretty soon. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says Rick Ross versus Bo Rida in a rap battle.
I think he meant Flow Rider, did he not?
Yeah, I think he meant Flow Rider too.
Yeah, we're also focused on Uncle Howdy being Bo that we kind of.
I'd rather have it versus Bo Rider, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's fair.
I would too. Is Ross a good rapper? I'm not really familiar with his work.
Yeah. He's big.
Yeah.
He's big time.
We're not talking about girth though, Walter.
No. He's big in Miami, especially.
Wait, what's going on here?
This is Rick Ross versus Max Caster.
There you go. Aaron, you made a good point about it being in LA if it happens. I continually forget that, Snoop Dogg's an LA boy, Long Beach guy. So, and him appearing at the Super Bowl, the halftime show last year, which was at SoFi Stadium, that whole thing was so big and got so over that, him rapping Mercedes to the ring is completely not out of the realm of possibility if she actually signs, because he's appeared on AEW TV semi-recently, right? And that was the big WWE, put him in the Hall of Fame, whatever. Oh, now he's on AEW TV, he's a traitor like everybody else. Like, you know what? He's going where the money is. I wonder why he's going where the money is, being an entertainer and
that was a good idea, Aaron.
I actually like the whole. Yeah, and figure the Forum is very much more a concert venue than it ever used to be because of the whole redesign. It all makes sense. They're in LA. Snoop Dogg raps her to the ring. She returns to wrestling full time in her cousin's backyard. Why not?
I like Virtue's whole thing about the independent contract, because what happens if you break that 90-day? A lawsuit? Khan's family's a billionaire. Just pay that.
Still getting paid.
Listen. If you would go to court, you would not, like, if you broke a 90-day no-compete clause because you wanted work to get paid, the court would see your case. You would win, but the problem is you still would have to pay legal fees. Nobody wants to deal with all that. And
she's getting paid. She's getting paid to sit at home, getting a paycheck from WWE.
There's one person I can think of that actually went and legitimately fought enough where WWE just finally went, whatever, and that was Brock. And
a lot of times too, the wrestlers want to heal up, get healthy, figure out what they want to do, reinvent a character. So it's not a bad thing. It's just it would be cool to see it when you don't expect it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. But after this last month, as far as Mandy goes, you also want to heal up because it's been a weird thing. But same with Mercedes. She's either been loved by y'all or dragged through the mug. So mug. Wow, I need to
like CM Punk.
So, him. It just I'm honestly okay with Mercedes, like I said, or Tessa. I just don't want some just random, you're here tonight, so let's put you in there and let everybody down. Especially people that are gonna, pay to go, see the show live. That sucks.
Yep. Well, you'll be there, so we'll see if you're let down.
Hopefully, again, I don't even know what my schedule's gonna be after New Year's Eve, so we'll see.
Aaron, you want to get the super chats cut up before you make this announcement for the review regarding 2023?
Psycho Jet Black sent in $2, says Rick Ross versus Jeff Jarrett in a death match.
Why are we killing horsemen? That's not fair.
Hey, I mean, Big G would absolutely love that match. I'm not sure if he's a Rick Ross fan, but we know.
He's not even
You notice
here.
Jeff Jarrett's got his little group going on in TNA. It's like the TNA boys
Of
together
course.
now in
Yep.
AEW. Like, I don't know how Jeff Jarrett does it. But
Big G's favorite faction.
Virtue, did you even go? Did you give your opinion?
For what? Yeah, I
For
Sasha
talk.
Banks.
the Mercedes?
I always like talk in between. Like I get
okay.
all my stuff out there.
He gets
Yeah,
his
I mean,
shit
let's be honest.
in.
Let's be honest. Like Mercedes, because like going to WWE, she's not going to be the number one because they have so many people. Going to New Japan, if they're starting a women's division or whatever, they're affiliated with AEW. She can be the center of attention, and that I could see her doing that. So there you go. Aaron, we caught up.
We are caught up.
All right. Well, what do you want to do next here? Because After Dark might start, or you can tell the NoDQ Galaxy what the NoDQ review is going to be doing next year.
So
Yeah,
we
I'm
got
curious myself.
we got a few changes coming up for 2023, and one of them tonight is the last No DQ review on Thursdays.
Oh,
Starting January 1st, we will be doing the No DQ review on Sundays on a regular basis for the foreseeable future, unless there's a conflict, like there's a rare Sunday pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Since WWE, AEW moved their pay-per-views to Saturday, Sunday nights are open season. And we had a good turnout when we went a few weeks ago on Sunday. We had Big Vito on. And that's another reason too, not just Sunday being a good night because people associate Sunday
Colin,
nights with
Cleaver
wrestling.
Andrew could be on.
We have
with us
generally more availability with our panelists on
Yes.
Sunday. Colin
I'm
Andrew,
off every Sunday.
Big Vito will likely be on more often.
There you go.
Jargo should be back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Thinking. And possibly Robbie Vice too. So we hope to get some of these guys that haven't been on in a while back on rotation more often. We think it's a good move. And Thursdays will likely be pay-per-view predictions in the future. And
that I
better.
like too.
That's better because it's closer to the pay-per-view and we can get the last Dynamite go-home show for the Dynamite predictions. So that works out, and we have likely a better chance of having the full card doing it on Thursdays. And also
Yes.
for Sundays, we'll be coming a day after WWE and AEW pay-per-views. We'll be fresh off of those shows to talk about what happened at the big event. So
Yep.
it just
Breaking
seems more
news usually
logical.
happens
And
on
there,
the weekend.
and there's probably some of my haters out there that really was hoping I was going to step down as a moderator.
Right.
But guess what? You're stuck with me until I quit or I do something so bad Aaron has to suspend me or get rid of me. You got me until this show probably is officially gone forever.
That cancels the whole
that's-
news
I'm not
comes out after we do the review.
I'm not
That always
opposed
happens,
to
right?
having guest moderators, whether it's the chat like we did on episode 200, or we actually have somebody on where I could just take a seat and answer questions instead of ask them. So we might entertain that as well.
Yeah, so it's the January 1st warning. January 1st, 2023 will be the first Sunday night No DQ review, and we'll be able to talk about SmackDown. It'll be 2 days afterwards, so it'll be fresh on everybody's minds. Oofman, we got to get you on, my man. And
Absolutely.
we got to get a couple guys on. This guy experience, a few people we promised we'd have on at some point. He says he's free Sunday night, so Oofman, we'll talk. We'll get you on a future No DQ panel. And Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in $2, says, thought the news was Disney bought No DQ. I joke.
Well,
They could afford it.
this is true. I mean, they own everything else. They might as
The
well.
real reason that Jeff is here, he's doing the contract negotiations.
Right?
Right, he's the special mediator.
Oh boy.
We got a problem with these negotiations? Oh, anyway.
All right, so I guess we're all wrapped up for now. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a nice turnout tonight, so much appreciated. And I guess we can start with the plugs.
Did
And
you
I
do
guess-
all those super chats that came in, or
Yeah, I got them. And
Oh, they were
if
quick.
somebody wants to send in, like, say, $20, maybe Jeff will do the Sasha Banks dance, and I'll mimic Jeff.
Funny. Damn, that's
I don't
awful.
know how. I don't know the Sasha Banks dance, but if somebody sends in $20 and Jeff does it, I'll do it with Jeff. I'll mimic him.
Yeah,
was a
somebody
thing-
do it because I don't even know what the Sasha Banks
We know
is.
how this goes. We go through our plugs, and sometimes we get out of here. Sometimes After Dark kicks in. All
This
right,
is After Dark. But before we get to the
we
plug,
are.
Colin Andrews sent in $2. Says,
Thank you,
happy
Colin.
holidays to all No DQ. Cheers and much love.
Yes, this week especially, Merry Christmas, because the whole week is Hanukkah, and we got Christmas last 2 nights of Hanukkah. So there you go. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Well, there we are. We hit over an hour. I knew we would.
Of course we did.
All right, let's do our plugs. JJ, I'll start with you. Good having you.
All right, wait a second. I gotta get the plugs up here real quick because
Oh, there's
we're
more
running late.
super
Oh,
chats.
We
It was
did send
screwing
them
me
both.
I remember the days where every once in a while we could have a 45 to 50-minute review. What happened to those?
Jeff came back.
You have Jeff and
well,
Walt
Jeff
on the
and
same
Walter.
one.
When Jeff and Walter are on together, you know how things are going. Okay, I
But
got
we
the
still got
plug
all
up.
topics done in under an hour, so that was good. So
I'm blind. JJ, is yours the one with the Christmas tree?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So we want to make sure that we invite you guys over to the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. So my channel, Jeff's channel, Noah's channel, all the channels affiliated tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 Eastern for our Eve of Christmas Eve special. We are not going to do any wrestling conversation, much to Noah Foster's chagrin. We're going to be discussing all kinds of Christmas stuff, Christmas movies, music, traditions, etc. We will discuss wrestling if super chats come in suggesting topics. That's the only way we'll venture off. But the big thing to plug is the Wheel of Carols. $5 super chats tomorrow. We'll get a spin of the Wheel of Carols, and we will sing whatever song pops up on the wheel. It's gonna be an interesting one because most of us can't sing. Noah's doing this under duress and protest.
Extreme duress. He is pissed, to be honest with you.
Because he
folks.
wants
so
to
if you
see
wanna
wrestling.
So if you want to see Noah Foster step outside of his comfort zone, show up tomorrow with super chat money, and let's just make it happen, everyone.
Now,
I would like to
There you
see
go.
that. Now, the This Guy Experience sent in $2. He says, yes, I can finally be on a review as long as you let me. Let me plug that. NoDQMISC@gmail.com. Email me if you have not been on the review and you would like to be on one, and we'll see about getting you on a future episode.
there you go.
Aaron, wasn't there another super chat before his? I swear you're missing some. Maybe not.
No, oh yeah. Okay, wait a minute. That
There
was his.
There it is.
Billy L sent in $5. Says, if I made No DQ some graphics, could I email them to you? Would like to help the channel out in any way. Yeah, same thing. NoDQMISC@gmail.com. Send me hate mail. Tell me to fire Virtue. Whatever is on your mind, that is the email address for all things related to the channel, the site, yada, yada, yada.
All right.
On
Yes.
JJ's plug, we will be singing the songs a cappella because we don't want to get too copyright pinged. And yes, there are songs that aren't in the public domain that we're going to sing. We're just going to do what we were calling interpretive versions.
Oh, wait, Jeff.
boy.
Yes.
Oh,
He did it.
Yeah, he did
boy.
it.
All right, Psycho Jet Black sent in $20. I'll have to send Jeff half of it for his contribution here. Merry Christmas to all of No DQ and especially to Jeff Meacham.
You're lucky it's Christmas, you bunch of Grinches. Okay. All right. So it's should we
Teach me how to do the Sasha dance.
All right. So God, I hate this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So basically,
I'm going to copy you.
all right. So she'll walk out. She'll have the whole hands in front of her face, doing the whole, shoulders back, right, and then she'll kind of just go into it like this. That's really it. That's really all it is. Just kind of like there you go. No, get more shoulders, brother. More shoulders. Get the dip. Where's your wife to help you with the rhythm? We're crying out loud. You're killing me.
Well, you're
Where
also
they-
very
I mean, we're talking Sasha Banks entrance. Where's the butt?
your video's very
You
choppy,
got
so I
jokes.
couldn't
No.
see what you were
You paid
doing. anyways.
$20. Come on.
I am in my Christmas PJs. I am not standing up. Thank you. That's not happening.
I'm going to copy Jeff for the rest of the stream.
Torvik, if you want this to end, it's going to be $25 instead of the 20 it was to get it to happen.
All right.
25 will make it stop.
Now,
That's
wait a
right.
minute. Jeremy Dorset sent in $2. Thank you, Jeremy. Says, don't forget to preview Monday Night Raw on Sunday. Yeah, maybe. Monday Night Raw sucks, though, so that's why
we're
moving
not
to
gonna-
Sunday is a good idea anyway.
Unless, like they said, John Cena was going to be back. Like, he's going to be on SmackDown on the 30th.
I don't
so-
think Raw is that bad, Aaron.
No. To be
Maybe
fair,
it's because
watch
I
Monday
was
Night
out
Raw.
of it for so long, but I don't think Raw is that bad.
Hey, watch
So
Monday Night Raw. Tuesday mornings on Hulu.
The first
Anyway.
Sunday NoDQ review is after that SmackDown with Cena, right?
That is a bald-faced lie. That maybe exercised more than he's ever seen, maybe, but not Aaron. Aaron actually does a regular walk. I mean, in Michigan, maybe not so much because it's butt-ass cold there now, but, on the regular, Aaron's much more exercising than I am. So
You don't follow him on social media. You don't see all the hiking posts that Aaron does.
Right?
Yeah,
he's
Aaron's
sort of
pretty
mimicking
active.
me everything I do now just because I, just because.
All right, whose plug are we on? Walter, go ahead and do your plugs.
Oh, mine's is the fastest and the simplest. Mine's you can do the Instagram at Cal Fire Farms, and I am
also
also
the show. Jesus.
I'm also on Twitter at Walter Alex Cruz. So mine's are the simplest.
He didn't get your plug page up, but that's okay. Sorry, Walter.
No,
Okay.
I was having
Aaron's used to
technical
being a-
I think he was
difficulties.
having
All right,
technical difficulties.
Maybe we got to end this. All right, Jeff, over to you.
So my plug is for the following Saturday, which will be New Year's Eve. That's not okay. There you go. There's Walter's plug. You can find him on Instagram at whatever. What does it say? Cal Fire? Is that what it is?
Cal Fire Farms.
Cal Fire Farms. There you go. That's for so New Year's Eve night, beginning 11 Eastern, so 8 p.m. Pacific. Also, we'll be doing our New Year's Eve coast to coast countdown, which means when we hit midnight in every time zone in the United States, we'll be doing the big, hey, it's midnight, it's New Year, blah blah. But the teaser that I have not told anybody, including my executive producer, I'm sorry for that, JJ. There is a special surprise for this show that will be announced tomorrow night during our Eve Christmas special that nobody knows about except me because I just made this booking a thing. So,
Wow, we have an
tune in
announcement.
tomorrow,
And Jeff,
and we'll see what
Jeff
happens.
has to make a special announcement.
Must
I
see
know, of
something.
course.
I didn't know there was an no, Aaron didn't tell me about his announcement. I didn't know it was going to be a thing. So,
Yeah,
All right,
if you're
Aaron.
going to get me, at least to the right hand, Aaron.
We will also be throwing in some highlight clips from open mic nights. Dad's not always on wrestling from the course of the year on that broadcast. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yes. Going to be a good next couple of open mic night episodes. It's going to be fun.
And it's 'tis the season. All right, Aaron, over to you.
All right. Well, that was a fun no DQ review. Definitely one of the more exciting ones of 2022. Just having some fun here as the year comes to an end. The This Guy Experience did send in a $2 super chat, so let's get to that. He said, everyone, top 5 stars that you think will not be in the Hall of Fame. Well, I mean,
I'm not going to list 5. But...
Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
Owen
There's
Hart.
two. There you go.
Owen Hart, yep.
Iron Mike Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good one. Okay, who's somebody that
Tony Khan. No,
Who was
Yeah,
the guy
Tony
that was
Khan.
in that? Who was in that guy that was in the special? The most eagerly sought after lost video. with
I got
Brett?
one. I got one. Nails.
Yes, the original Kevin Kelly. Yes, definitely.
Nails will not be in the
definitely
WWE
will
Hall
not
of
be in
Fame.
the Hall of Fame. Now, watch. Of course, they'll have to make sure just to throw us off.
Ahmed
What about
Johnson.
Bart Gunn? Bart Gunn.
Bart Gunn. There you go. Bart Gunn.
Ahmed
No, the
Johnson.
Smoking Guns might get in one day.
That's fair. The Smoking. Well, you know what?
Repo
I think Bart might before the Smoking Guns do as a team because Bart's character was more over than the Smoking Guns team.
Repo Man won't
Foley
get in there.
Anderson.
What do you guys think?
You know what? Okay, I disagree with Repo Man. Because I mean, him and Bill had that lawsuit against WWE.
Don't get me wrong. I want him to be in. I like
I do
Repo
too,
Man.
but I don't think Barry or Bill will get inducted because of this stupid lawsuit thing.
I got another one. Muhammad Hassan.
Hassan, yes. Mustafa Ali will probably eventually, but Muhammad Hassan, yeah, that was such a
Maven.
David Mike because he was tough enough champion. I mean,
He might get in. I think he actually has a legit shot at getting in because he has that drop kick that sent the Undertaker
you know what?
out.
I like Psycho's answer because of this he pulled with us. Damien Demento, if he's in the Hall of Fame, I will gladly eat Aaron's dad's.
What?
Oh.
Wait a minute, what?
You got
What? That's a
What?
bad character. Oh my god!
What did you just say?
What? What the hell?
Jesus Christ!
Oh. Somebody needs to clip that on Twitter.
Right?
You know who's never going to go in the WWE Hall of Fame? Jeff Meacham.
Jeff Meacham. That's right. Never, ever, ever. Or the NoDQ Hall of Fame. Now what just happened? I ruined the year.
All right, we got it.
Maybe they need to. I hope they reinduct Jeff Jarrett and Big G.
Where was
induct.
the possible this botch comment like we always count on Fridays?
All right, are we caught up here, Aaron? Can I do my plug and we get out of here? Yeah, there. Change pay. Good
There
old
you go.
Jeff
Big
Jarrett.
G inducting him.
Wait, will Jeff Jarrett be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Or
He
is
already
he?
is.
There he is.
Oh,
He already is.
see how he snuck in there real
And
quick?
I was gonna say like Alberto Del Rio might never go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Probably not now.
Hell
There's
no.
there's quite a few.
But Ricardo Rodriguez should.
Giant Gonzalez better not.
Yeah, probably not.
Johnny
All right.
Ace probably won't now.
You good, Aaron?
Bruce will.
We're good. I think we're good.
All right. Follow me if you dare right
I
there
don't know if you're going to see
on
Jeff
Twitter.
Meacham in 2023, but we'll see.
at NoDQ_virtue on Twitter. Make sure you check out the merch, NoDQ.com/merch. The entire Virtue collection is over there, as well as all the other great merchandise. This has been the NoDQ review number 217. And guess what? Next year, starting on New Year's Day, we're going to be doing Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's right, Aaron. 8 p.m.
Yeah, Sunday
Eastern
night
prime
review,
time.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Sunday night. Maybe one of the best
January
primetime
1st.
spots.
Warning.
One of the best primetime spots like in all of entertainment. And that's what we're going to do. So see you, NoDQ Galaxy, next year. Good night.
Feel merchy.
Jeff's fired.
It's a trap.